Hey guys, it is now 10:01 a.m. still on Wednesday. And I made a promise with myself that I was going to watch my video back because I do my videos spontaneously, one take. Like if you hadn't noticed, I know they're not like polished or professional. That's not my goal. My goal is to help people. So, anyway, I also make a promise I'm going to watch my video back for myself. And when I watched it, I started shaking and I started crying. So, again, walking the walk. But the fact is that now I'm hearing the I'm still standing after all this time. And then I'm also hearing moving on up because I'm honoring and releasing. I'm honoring and releasing. And again, walking the walk, I'm telling you, it cleared. Like, it was like, it's like with my daughter. She'll be like, do you think anybody's gonna like my shirt? Right? And she's that age, you know? And the big thing for me is to both pour into her, but also empower her, empower her. Remember that? So, I was like, you know, so my point is what I constantly say to her is, what do you think about it? Do you like your shirt? If someone else was wearing a shirt that you didn't like and you went up to them and you said, I don't like your shirt, is that their problem or your problem? You know, and just showing her, like, not in a, I don't mean that in a mean way, I say it in a compassionate way, but I'm just saying, and so I'm walking the walk where it's like, that's what I'm doing with this. It's like, ultimately, my own opinion of what I do is the most important and who I am. It really is. So, um, so when I was watching back the video and then the tears came, it was like, oh, right. That's because I'm right on the money of like transforming. So the parts that are like, you know, whatever, it's like, yeah, I hear you. I hear you. And, you know, trauma manifests in very, like, in a ton of ways. And the facts are that when we can truly meet ourselves where we're at in that moment, in like the driving scenario or um, metaphor, that's why if a child has a rough day at school and they come home to a loving and safe parent and they get to say what happened at school, cry about it, like release the feelings about it, it doesn't haunt them the rest of their freaking life. It does not become a trauma. It's an event. So I've had lots and lots and lots of events that I have never gotten to process. And in fact, it was like, if I ever let out any sort of emotion, it was like double down on the punishment. So I'm reminding myself there is a backlog, but it's not, like I'm not in my room refusing to see anybody, not being a present mom. You know, like none of those are truths whatsoever. So I'm just reminding myself of that. Like every time I release emotion, feel emotion, I am dropping that part off. It's like, oh, so you understand that, you know, let's say, I don't know, this just came to me, so I'm just going to say it. I don't even remember it, but like, let's say it's like, oh, so you understand that when you were 2 and let's say your ice cream fell off the cone and everyone called you a baby for being sad that your ice cream fell off the cone, for being sad for a second. Not saying for 2 weeks afterwards, right? But it's like, let the emotion, like that is a disappointment, especially if you're 2, right? But it becomes a trauma when it's like your natural, that's what it is, when your natural, healthy, like human response in that moment is shamed. Well, shit, like what, how, okay, I guess I can't, like, it'd be like if you got severely punished every time you sneezed. That's what it's like. So I mean, it's worse than that, but I'm just saying, like, it's a human reaction. It's healthy. Like, it's supposed to happen. It's like if you said, I haven't slept in 3 days and I'm tired, and someone's like, why are you tired? It's like, because I haven't slept in 3 days, right? It wasn't, why haven't you slept? It's, why are you tired? It's like, though, that's a natural consequence of not sleeping for 3 days. So I'm just reminding myself of these things. And I'm speaking it out so that I don't get consumed by it. As far as like, the facts are, as I watch back the video, I release some tears, which is a good thing because I'm having this massive breakthrough. You're witnessing a massive breakthrough, and I'm starting to really see the things that have held me back in the past, and I'm breaking through them, not around them, not over them, but through them, because the level that I was held down, that I was suppressed, that I was like a spring, like compressed, it's a lot, but it's not impossible. And that is my goal, is to get people, empower them, but effectively to open up and get to live their best lives. So that being said, now I am going to do the yoga, but I just thought it was important on my journey to be authentic, that I watched back the video, it rang completely true to me, and at the same time, there was parts where like, well, now you're crying, so obviously that wasn't good. It's like, no. That's a part that's that 2-year-old that needed to feel for 30 seconds, and then it's gone, Oh, I just got a bunch of chills. Yeah, it's just incredible. It's incredible. And again, if you already have this, congratulations. Like, I truly am happy for you. But if you don't, I'm giving it to you because it's the truth. And, I do believe in higher power. I do believe in the universe. However, for a lot of people as well, concepts that are positive have been weaponized against them. So now their brain and the nervous system, when they hear something that is actually good for you, it rejects it. So that's another thing too, of like, we all know we're supposed to like move our bodies and do exercise, but if exercise was was weaponized against you, then your system is like, no. Like, it's just all these things, and that's why I really want to help people get to the root of things, so that you see why you procrastinate or you behave in a certain way, so you can change it. And to understand that as you're changing it, the parts of you that have survived by acting a certain way or they're going to react because they're like, I don't think she understands or he understands what's going on. So that's why it's effective and productive to hear those parts and talk to them and let them know, that you appreciate how they've been in the past, because it's basically like, I don't know, because I do have a teaching background, so I always think of a classroom. It's a classroom and the teacher's not there. So kids are taking turns. That's what it is. Kids are taking turns leading the class. Right? And so you've got one kid that, their dominant is like intellectual, right? So the part of the class they're leading is, technically decent, but they're all like intellectual. And then you got the part that's the kid that's the class clown. And so, and so they're doing what they thought they were supposed to do. And they're just trying to help. But the problem is they don't have awareness of the whole. So they have a very limited, like a tunnel vision of like the 2-year-old part of you. All it knows is that when the ice cream fell, it wanted to cry, but then it wasn't allowed to cry. So then it did not know what to do. And then it was like, what's wrong with me that stuff is starting to come to my eyes, right? Like a sneeze. Like, what's wrong with me that I'm sneezing? But the truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing inherently wrong with you. And what I mean by that is it's not your fault. But it's your responsibility because you deserve to live the life that you want. So it is your responsibility in the best possible way. So it's hard to do like general, but that's why I'm, if anybody, like I said, we're going to create that group. And it's going to be at least weekly Zooms where it really is about taking these concepts or these ideas or these aha moments or these breakthroughs, and from, like, I have my hand up, from, which I think is important because that's higher intelligence, but then bringing them down to earth of actionable steps, but then knowing that you're not in it alone and that there is no judgment. So then you feel safe to take that step because it's not that you are accepted if you are successful in the step. You are accepted if you try to take the step. Holy cow, does that not take all the pressure off? Because then you're not holding yourself back in any way, because we also do not want to do that. But you are free to then take that step into the life you want, because worst case scenario, if it doesn't work out, the acceptance is not conditional based on that. And as beings, we want to continue to grow and expand, whatever that means to us. So the only rule would be you don't want to be stagnant, because it's like water. We're like water, and stagnant water is not healthy, right? And I really think that's something I have at least a semi-unique perspective on, is there are people who have motivation, who have drive, who are ambitious, who are intelligent. But if they're being honest with themselves, they're feeling stuck. And if they're feeling stuck because of a nervous system, like a survival instinct, then bashing them or tough love only drives that instinct in deeper. It is not productive. And so anyway, I would really love to help people. And that is me walking the walk, is putting that out there. Because part of me is like, well, do I know what I'm doing? It's like, I can tell you that I am doing what I say doing. So, and I'm experiencing genuine, authentic, natural joy, peace, vitality, inspiration. And I have a lot going on, right? And so, yeah, I want to help. And see, part of me is like, oh, this is long, I shouldn't post this. But I walk the walk. This is coming from my heart to your heart, hopefully. And so I am going to. So that being said, I'm going to go do my yoga so that I can do my affirmations and remind myself that I am safety. I am peace. I am love. I am light. And that's what I want to show the world. All right. Love you guys.